So quickly, I will just do a little PowerPoint presentation for all of you to see and get you on the same page. So why did we do a leadership training program? Because everything devolves on leadership. Larry, everything devolves on leadership. Listen quickly to one of the engineers of the Omoluabi civilizing program.
The welfare of millions of people for generations to come may be affected by the wisdom which we here display. If Nigerian leaders and our British partners are to prove themselves worthy of their trust, now is the time for us solemnly and truly to dedicate ourselves to seeking the greatest good of the greatest number of our people in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Go to the next slide. If you listen carefully to Obafemi Awolowo, he was saying some things that nobody really paid attention to. Again, what Awolowo was saying then was also mirrored by what Tafawa Balewa said at the United Nations General Assembly in 1960 on the 7th of October. Let's just listen quickly to a little bit of that as well.
Just 1 week ago, as the clocks were striking midnight and Nigeria was on the threshold of independence, there was a brief ceremony at which the leaders of 3 different faiths each said a brief prayer. We then realized, all of us, that however much we might imagine ourselves to be responsible for the happy accession to independence, we realize that above all, there is a divine providence. And I do honestly believe that one primary essential to international friendship and cooperation is for each man to be true to his religious beliefs and to reaffirm the basic principles of his particular creed. It may be that then, when we hear the world crying out for peace, we may receive the inspiration to deal with these intractable problems.
He is a seasoned diplomat, and if you are not careful, you will not notice that he knew that there was struggle and war ahead. He didn't mention war as a diplomat, but he said when the world is crying out for peace. He began to talk about the intractable problems that people like himself had noticed from the 50s. By 1968, Obafemi Awolowo did point out that there were certain forces that was put inside Nigeria to blow it apart. Actually, it's called enslavement engineering. We have studied it. Give me the next slide, please. We studied it. It's called enslavement engineering. But Obafemi Awolowo was able to use another program to overcome it. Without the program that Obafemi Awolowo used, we would never have gotten all the results that I listed out for you, Liberty Stadium and all those, investments, structures that were left behind. They knew there was a problem, and they tried to warn all of us who are here today that we need to learn the secrets that they knew. Now, the advanced warning is this. Awolowo said it is not debatable that the British not only made Nigeria, but they gave it to us whole on their surrender of power. But Nigeria they gave to us had in it the forces of its own disintegration. It is up to contemporary Nigerian leaders to neutralize these forces, preserve the Nigerian inheritance, and make our people free, forward-looking, and prosperous. Nobody ever undertook to provide what Awolowo said needed to go on. And I'll give you an example of a warning he gave us then, the things that are happening today. He said, unless the federal government actively promotes the introduction of free education at all levels throughout the country, the gap between North and South in education was 50 years in 1906. By 1980, the gap had widened to 75 years. And Awolowo warned that by the 1990s, if nothing is done, the gap will widen to 100 years. And he pointed out that if this gap is allowed to go like that, the consequences will be too gruesome for mention. And of course, that is what we are seeing today. All the bloodshed, the devaluation of human worth, and the things Obafemi Awolowo was pointing out to you, that we need to master these programs and do what is right. He also warned us, he said this, at the conclusion of the Constitutional Conference in London in 1958, Awolowo said, I had an overpowering feeling of foreboding that something negative, something untoward was going to happen to Nigeria. That it would happen, I felt sure. But when it would happen, I had no inkling. At first, I felt there was nothing I could do about it. But later on, I thought I might do something about it. That was in 1958. Now, that is why he introduced the Omoluabi program, civilizing program, and used it as the operating system of the Western region to point the way forward to beat all these things. Now, the latest problem we have today in Nigeria is now extremism. And I'm going to tell you something. Upon all the other problems before, now with extremism, if we are ever going to defeat the insurgency or whatever it is that is troubling us today, Nigeria has to promote a stronger national ideology, a stronger value system, and then the security environment. In fact, the security portion is only 17% of the solution. The stronger ideology and the stronger value system, we don't need to reinvent it. All we need to do is to go and brush the Omoluabi program and upgrade it to a digital platform and apply it across the country. And then you will find out that what we need to overcome the present problems of Nigeria is what these polytechnic leaders, potential leaders of tomorrow, or national leaders of tomorrow, but present leaders in the polytechnic environment, it is what we have been taking them through in the Omoluabi digital leadership training program that we have given to them. So let us not forget that when Oduduwa used it, they excelled. The proof was there. People like Leo Frobenius testified to it. When Obafemi Awolowo put it together, we can see the legacy he left behind. We have no doubt that these young men too, as they start out today, they will continue to expand every day, and they will take us to heights of glory, not only in the southwest but across this nation. And they will leave us a legacy greater than whatever Awolowo was able to do. So, but we are giving a warning. Why are we rushing to do this in the Polytechnic right now? The Omoluabi Digital Upgrade Code, we made presentations in foreign nations, whilst a former president of one of the countries made a presentation of what they call the Levant option, and we gave them the Omoluabi option. But what we need to know is that the enemies of progress are also looking at this Omoluabi code, and they are trying to crack it. In fact, what happened in London in 2013 when a young Yoruba boy executed a policeman in the streets was a shock to the whole world, because to do that you must break the Omoluabi code. So we are racing for time right now to ensure that we can assure progress and peace to all our people. During the course, we showed them how we need to upgrade to the digital format. What worked for Awolowo will not work today. We taught them how to appreciate Omoluabi, which is the study of God in his office as creator. We took a study of Cicero, ancient Cicero, who studied the cosmic universe, to bring out the value of human worth. He spoke about inalienable rights. He pointed out undeniable duties. And when you look at the American system, it was the work done by Cicero, which is similar to Omoluabi, which is the study of God in his office as creator, that created a level playing field for the success of the U.S. today. Needless to say, we have showed them that there are many highly sophisticated things that we have but we have never celebrated, but they are going to be applying these things on campus. And the final charge, of course, next slide, our final charge to them is that as they go back to campus, they are going to go and reevaluate human worth in the academic environment. They must be able to inject a fresh narrative into the Polytechnic in Ibadan. They must develop a new architecture of thought completely. They must upgrade every standard on the campus to meet with Omoluabi digital standards. They must be able to propagate the values and virtues, morals of Omoluabi to make sure that we can bring down drug abuse and all negative things on campus. They must also help to encourage the creation of a fresh economy on the campus based on the Omoluabi teachings they've been receiving. And then, of course, this set of leaders, based on the Omoluabi digital upgrade, must provide succession. They must leave behind a legacy, because leadership that leaves no successor is a failure. All these things are available in the Omoluabi leadership. Thank you very much for coming here to witness.
Thank you very much, sir. It is expected that the program, properly applied, will produce the following in the body policy of students in the academic in the polytechnic: Iwapele, which is restraint; Agbekaleoro, which is discretion; Emi Teriba, which is humility; Inumimo, openness; Olododo, truth; Iwa, virtue; Itepamoshe, industry; Owo, respect; Authority, perseverance; Ifarabale, composure; Imo, knowledge; Oye, understanding; Ogon, wisdom; and other attributes of the thorough Ojiri citizen. That is the body of it. Then we have both sides signing in the presence of the third party. So we have 4 copies here to be signed.
After which we'll also let you know that we are going to, all the course participants are going to be presented with their certificates of participation in the course. So I think we'll go straight into the signing. Mr. Wale, I think you supervise the signing quickly. No worries with that. Okay. Please, the signing.